Benji go ahead and do that. So, asante kwa Perry to take over. Thank you. Unmute, please.
Thank you, Madam Pesh, Panina. I'm grateful for this opportunity. My name is Michael Carey, as Aria stated, and I'm also made aware that we're live on Facebook, so on the Beyond Business Trades Association. And I will kindly, because I have just been introduced, I will just highlight some of the few things that have been highlighted. My name is Michael Carey. I am a graduate in criminology and security management, and I have got an 8 years experience on matter security and investigations, risk management, and I am glad to be in this session of Beyond Business Trades Association, and I welcome all of you, them that are on board, that we can be able to learn one or two things. I'm also a member of Professional Criminology Association of Kenya, and we have a youth. I'm an outreach and liaison officer in terms of youth envoy, and I'm glad for the good work that is being done by the professional body, led by our FC Bonamunene. I thank God for him and for the association and for the good work they're doing. So just in case you are in the area of in the criminology, security, in terms of you are in the criminal justice system, you may be a police officer, you may be in the judiciary, in the prosecution, in the rehabilitation. We welcome all members in the Criminology Association of Kenya, whereby we are encouraging and having members to join and be able to ensure we make it better, even as we work all collectively to reduce the crime rate level. So thank you so much, Beyond Business Trades Association, for welcoming me on today's session, that we can be able to look onto how do we balance security in business. And allow me to first appreciate the good work you're doing. I have been following you on your social media pages, advocating for godly principles in the marketplace. And I also do believe that if we're able to ensure that these principles are well implemented, even in the criminal justice system, we can be able to have justice, we can be able to have development. And I am glad for the advocacy that you guys are working on, and I'm looking forward for a very successful session that you're going to have. And I know the expectations are many, and I know we'll be looking into 2-3 things that we can be able to sharpen one another. As the Bible says, an iron sharpens an iron, and I do believe we are here to learn from one another. We are here to be able to be sharpened. And I welcome once again all of you, so that we can be able to learn 2 or 3 things. With my very few years of experience in this field, and I know we will be able to learn 2 or 3 things that can be able to help us be able to grow together to the glory of God. Hallelujah. Yes, how do we balance security and business? It is a delicate issue in most companies, and companies of all sizes, and there is a need to have an approach that is based on the scale and the nature of business. And here are some considerations for the small, medium, and large companies. I would like us to cluster it in that manner, so that we can be able to address the needs, the security needs, in terms of everybody who is having a small business, a medium business, as well as a large company. I have had a privilege to work with the small, medium companies. I have also had an opportunity to work with big corporate organizations with multiple branches across Kenya, and I have had a privilege to engage in different capacities, and that's why I said it is important I cluster it in terms of the small scale business, the medium sized business, as well as a large business. And I know we'll be able to get 2 or 3 concepts that can be able to help us be able to be effective in the marketplace. You can be letting us know in the comment section in case we are clear. I am clear, I'm well and loud. You can be letting me know so that at least we can be able to move together. So in case you find maybe there is a network connectivity issue, kindly on the comment sections for them that are watching us live on Facebook, and also for them that we are live on Google Meet. So kindly utilize the comment section so that at least I can be able to know that I am loud and clear to all of you, so that at least we can be able to flow together for the few minutes that we'll be having. So apart from that, I am a risk management professional on the humanitarian grounds, and yes, I have done risk management professional in the country level as well as on the regional level. So on matters humanitarian concept, on risk management, risk assessment, and yes, I am certified on that, and I am glad to just share the knowledge so that at least we can be able to make this nation a better country. We can be able to reduce crime. We can be able to reduce losses in our businesses. And I once again appreciate this opportunity given by the Beyond Business Association. So thank you. So on small business, having interacted with several businesses, small business, medium business, and large organization, there is a key concept I have come to learn, and this is when you're dealing with security in our business, it is the key concept to start with is risk assessment. And whether it is a small, medium, or large, it is very important to conduct a thorough regular risk assessment to identify potential security threats and vulnerability. The importance of the risk assessment is to help you be able to prioritize risk based on their potential impact on the business. May it be a small business, may it be a medium business, may it be a large organization. And focusing on the small business, it is very important for us to be able to conduct that risk assessment to be able to identify the potential security threat and vulnerability. And in it, on the small business, the reason as why we need to do the risk assessment is because we need to employ the right measure depending on the risk level that the business will or is likely to incur. Being a small business, there is a budget constraint and the resources are limited, so it is crucial to prioritize security measures based on the most significant risk and look for a cost-effective security solutions and leverage a free open source tool where applicable. There are some of the measures after doing your risk assessment, identifying the needs, identifying the areas of risk. There is areas that you can be able to prioritize and be able to put the right measures. There is you'll find a small scale business. You'll find currently we have in terms of cameras, we are able to have CCTV cameras at very low cost with around 20, 25, 30,000. You're able to have your cameras in your place of work, and there is the physical security that sometimes when you put the CCTV cameras, they're able to deter potential criminals coming to your workplace. So there is the cost-effective security solutions that you need to look into where applicable. And then there is the issue of outsourcing security service provider. So sometimes you may find your business it requires a security guard, and there is security companies that are registered and they are given a license by the PSRA. So it is good to, in case your business requires to have a security guard manning your facility, may it be day or may it be night, and this mostly will be defined when you have done a risk assessment. And maybe in case you have a business, may it be a small, may it be large or medium, and you have not done a risk assessment, you can engage us to be able to help you in terms of doing the risk assessment so that you can be able to identify the areas that you need to invest on matter security, and it will help your business to be able to have the right security measures in place. And you, as a small business, you need to prioritize on the fundamental security practices of training your employees, ensure your software is well updated, you have the basic access control, because in the small medium business you cannot have a robust access control measures in place, but you can be able to employ the basic access control that can be able to help your business and limit people coming in. In terms of softwares, ensure the laptops that your staffs are having, the softwares are well updated, the antiviruses are up to date, so that to ensure that there is that protection. In terms of the training of the staff, it is good you train your staff in terms of ensuring do they understand some of the basic social engineering that the cyber criminals are trying to use, the issue of ensuring there is a strong password and the staffs do not open the spam emails, the attachments that comes from a known source. So there is important to have a training of your employees. Maybe when I'm clustering a small business, to be a business that are having 5 employees or up to 20 employees. So these employees, it is good to have a session with them in terms of ensuring that they are able to understand some basic safety measures, access controls in place, so that they can be able to ensure that your business is all loopholes are well sealed in terms of ensuring that you minimize the risk. Going to the medium-sized business, it is good on a medium-sized business, it is good to invest in a scalable solutions. And what am I meaning by saying a scalable solutions? This is a medium-sized business. You need to allocate some resources in terms of on matter security, and also you must be able to understand, even if you are having a business, you see a business requires security, and you need to balance the two. So there is the concept as to why I'm bringing this concept of ensuring there is a risk assessment is to ensure that the security that I am employing does not eat the profit margin of your business, but as well as you're able to cover all the loopholes and be able to seal the gaps, but at the same time you are still in business, you're making your profit. So you need, on a medium-sized business, it is good to have a comprehensive security policies, and you need to develop these policies that covers accept, that include data protection, access control, incident response, and in case you do not have, it is good to have these policies in place. And as you have these policies in place, it is also good also on the medium-sized business to ensure that you do the employee training and awareness in your workplace. One thing I have come to realize, it is good to continue and emphasize the employee training and awareness program in place, have it in place, build a security conscious culture within your organization. And I appreciate that I have had an opportunity to interact with several organizations, and yes, there are them that are trying to seek on how they can be able to build a security conscious culture within the organization, and we help them out on terms of ensuring that there is the policies in terms of policy formulation. How do you come up with security policies? How do you implement these security policies in place? And how do you make them that they are not limiting the operations and the growth of your business? So we ensure we try to balance the two so that we can be able to help you as a medium-sized business to be able to have the right security measures in place and be able to also have that culture. Because I have been into corporate security. I have also been into a private investigation industry, and the culture that we're talking about, and allow me to also again be able to appreciate what Beyond Business Trade Association is doing is to ensure that as we the way they are advocating for godly principles in the marketplace, it will create a culture of honesty, a culture of that upholds godly principles, a culture that will be able to ensure that there is a culture of honesty, not only on matter security, but also in governance and leadership in this nation, because I do believe we're able to employ these skills and this capacity. We're able to create and enhance this capacity in a place of work. We can be able to minimize a lot of corruption cases that has been there, a lot of issues that are happening, the security breaches that are there. We can be able to minimize and regulate the issues that are happening into our businesses. In my 8 years of experience, one thing I would like to categorically state is that in my work, I have come to realize, yes, it is good to have the security, the physical security. It is good to have the training in place, but the human personnel in place in terms of the training of the staff, it is very important, because a lot of businesses have not the losses that have mostly been experienced not only because of the physical breach, but mostly on the staff who are working in that organization. So we need to build a culture of honesty, a culture that embraces godly principles, a culture, because I do believe this nation we have got the very high number of Christians, we have the highest number of the Muslim, and all these believe in the Almighty God and they have the principles. If we can be able to employ these principles in Christianity, in the Muslim world, I do believe this nation can be in a better place. So I appreciate and I thank God for the opportunity, for the good work that the Beyond Business Treasure Association is doing. I was saying, I have come to note, out of the many cases I have dealt with, that the human personnel is very key to be able to be nurtured, to have a culture. In your organization, it is good you ask yourself, have we promoted a culture of honesty, a culture of transparency, a culture of compliance? Because sometimes I have also come to realize whereby there is a culture that is not of honesty, of integrity. Also, the staff tend to be able to run with that culture that is not okay. And so you will find themselves engaging in illegal activity, corruption cases here and there. And when you're able to build and nurture a culture, a security conscious culture within the organization, a culture whereby that upholds, that rewards competence, that rewards staff of their capacity of their delivery of service, then we are able to make things be able to move forward in the right direction. So there is a need on the medium business. It is good to have a regular security audit, and these ones include conducting a regular security audit to identify and address vulnerability, and this proactive approach prevents potential breaches. I do understand that in Kenya we have the OSH, we have a Department of Occupational Health and Safety, and they have a stipulated in the Act of 2007. They have been able to highlight that every organization should be able to have an occupational health and safety committee in the workplace. And I do believe, like in this kind of a setup, there is a need to have that kind of a committee in place that is able to do the review, that is able to look on all matters that pertains to occupational health and safety, and that is a responsibility of an employer to be able to ensure that the occupational health and safety rules and regulations are well observed. And here, in terms of the training, there are different kind of training in terms of security. There is a security training, there is a fire and safety, there is a first aid, and all these are some of the concepts that can be able to be implemented in your business. And not only are they helping them when they are doing it in your workplace, but even as they go to different places, they're able to employ these skills to be able to save lives and be able to ensure that we are safe as a nation, as a country, and even as they travel around the globe, that we are able to have a security conscious culture within our organization, within our society, and this one help us all collectively. Allow me to go to, because of our time, to large enterprises or large business scale, and allow me to just say, in the large enterprises, there is also need to have a very good security risk assessment in place. When you want to establish, a business in a certain area, it is good you do the risk assessment. And as you're doing this risk assessment, you will be able to understand, is this place the vulnerability of my business? If I set up a business near a bank facility, what are the surrounding in my area? The risk assessment is a very broad concept that is able to help you be able to determine the risk measures or the safety measures that you need to put in place. And there is a risk measures that if I want to establish a business in an informal sector, maybe, for example, let me say in Kibera, and for me to establish the same kind of a business in a place like in the Nairobi CBD, and allow me to use along Kenyatta Avenue, in just opposite International House or thereabout. The risk measures or the risk level that is in an informal settlement in one place is a totally different when I am setting the same kind of a business, but now in this other different location. And with it, it will determine, do I need to have a security guard in my business, whereby my business is inside the mall. There is the armed security officer, there is the security guards in that mall. There is a risk level and there is a risk assessment scale that we use to be able to define and determine what kind of security measures do we need to put in place in location A, in location B, in location C. There is regions. There is Nairobi, there is Mombasa, there is Kisumu. There are also other remote areas in this nation that we know. And because I know there are people who are tuned in different continents. In your continent, there are levels and there are different locations. And different locations, there is a different levels of security threats in several areas. So my my assessment is varies from one locations to another, and also the kind of business that you are putting in place. So even on large enterprise, there is a need to be able to ensure that there is the risk assessment in place that will help the large enterprises be able to adopt a holistic security strategy that will encompass on people, process, and technology. And it is good to implement advanced security measures that entails the threat intelligence, advanced analytics and automation. And this one, I'm clustering them on the large business enterprise. And in terms of incident response team, it is good to establish a dedicated incident response team capable of handling complex security incidences, as well as it is good to have regulatory compliance. And on this one for large enterprise, there is a regulatory requirement that ensures compliance with the industrial standard and relevant regulations. And on this one, as I was saying, there is an act that on occupational health and safety that the government saw it fit to be put in place to be able to ensure that staff and the employees are able to work in an environment that is safe and their health is able to be looked into. And I think on this area, there is something that we are missing on terms of mental health. There are only a few places I have seen organizations dealing with the issue of mental health of their staff, and I think it is something, it is an area that we need to also look into. The Act have no provision of a mental health, and it is really becoming an issue currently, and I know these are some of the things that I know will be able to be put in place. So it is good to ensure in the large enterprise you're able to observe the regulatory compliance to be able to ensure that you have the right measures in place to be able to ensure there is, because when there is these regulations being observed, then the issues and the breaches of security becomes minimal. So it is, but where there is non-compliance of the regulatory requirement, the level of incidences is usually high. The level of theft in that enterprise is usually high. And I will request, as the Beyond Business Treasurer is doing a good work of advocating for these principles being employed in the business world, I will request all organizations to be able to employ these skills to be able to ensure and embrace this culture. Because currently we have a culture that is a culture that is a very good breeding ground of corruption and all kind of mess. But if you're able to have these principles well incorporated in your vision, in your mission statement, that every employee who comes on board, they know we have got the principles that we follow or that we are bound with. We are able to nurture an environment that upholds honesty, that upholds, that rewards competence, that is able to build that culture that will be able even to create a health environment of whistleblowing, that when an incident is able to happen, because in the policy formulation in a large enterprise, it is good to have the whistleblowing. How do staff, maybe them that are subordinate staff, how do you help them? How do you ensure that anybody who have something in the organization, they are able to whistleblow, they are able to report something that is going amiss without being victimized? Because we have seen in a lot of organizations, when we have very honest staff, sometimes they end up being victimized. Do you have the proper processes in place that to be able to ensure people are able to report an incident, they're able to report any areas of loopholes in the supply chain, and without being victimized? So it is good as a large enterprise be able to have a way that people can be able to whistleblow and be able to do it with confidence, knowing that they are not going to be victimized. And in the large enterprise, there is we have of late we have seen a lot of emergence of technologies from artificial intelligence, machine learning that enhance data detection and response capability. It is good to ensure that you do other risk assessment to be able to know which of this technology best suits you and which can you be able to afford and be able to still remain in business, because you have to balance the two. That you have to employ the right security measures in place, but at the same time manage the cost. I have been into organization and I have been into a place whereby I am formulating a security budget. And in formulation of security budget, there is a need to have the justification of your budget and be able, without impeding the business operations. So even the policy formulations that we help organizations to be able to put in place, they should be in a position that they are helping and preparing the business to be able to grow without impeding the business operations. But we must be in a position whereby we are creating a culture of a security conscious culture in place. Allow me to say, I have very few organizations currently. You will find them doing the training on fire and safety in terms of having some sessions, some webinars on security training. And these are some of the places that we need to cultivate and be able to ensure that our staffs are well empowered, and especially now on the issue of the cyber crimes that are happening day in, day out. We need to ensure that we have in our policy formulations, there is a level that we usually define the level of information access to which level of staff management and the leadership, the levels that are put in place to be able to ensure that the only information that is able to be accessed by a junior staff are only accessed by the junior staff. By the middle staff are able to be accessed by the middle staff. By the top management are able to be accessed. And then be able to ensure that every security measures that should be put in every level, it is put in place. And these staffs are well trained on ensuring they are able to have the adaptability of that area, so that they can be able to ensure that we do not have a lot of cyber crimes taking place, and organizations are losing great time in terms of cybercrime. The social engineering that is taking place, it will require the staff to be well trained on matters safety. And sometimes this training, they are not costly. They are very cost effective. You can be able to do them even online with your team. So it is good to ensure that we're able to ensure that our team, because sometimes I have interacted with organizations and I have realized the breach of the security measures was done by staff who didn't knew that what they were doing was not appropriate. So there is a place whereby there is, in terms of the training, there is a place we need to hike up our gear. So, and with this, you can even help us be able to work together with you and be able to help you out on those areas. In all business level, there is some general consideration, and I can see we only have 15 minutes. So kindly allow me to finalize as I give this general consideration. In the business level, from the small business, medium business, and even large corporate organization. In terms of risk management, it is good to conduct a regular risk assessment to identify and prioritize potential threat. It is good, and once you're able to do this, then you are able to tailor security measures based on the identified risk. Crimes are changing day in, day out. So it is very important to be able for us to be able to be adaptable, stay agile, and adaptable to the changing threat landscape. Regularly update the security measures to address the emerging risk. Another thing I would like to highlight as a general consideration in all the business level is the communication. Ensure there is a good communication, especially between the security, because we have the team that does security, the physical security, as well as there is the IT security, that is on cyber security. The two teams should be able to communicate. They should be able to have a very good collaboration, foster collaboration between IT, security teams, and business units to align security measures with overall business goal. And I would also like to say it is good to ensure there is a business continuity, ensure that security measures do not hinder business operation, implement strategies for business continuity in the event of security incident. So it is good we put these measures in place because balancing security and business profit is an ongoing process that requires a strategic, flexible, and adaptive approach tailored to the specific need and the resources of each company. And if we're able to do and have this thing in place, then we are able to ensure that our businesses are safe and secure. With the risk assessment, will help you not to employ, because the other day I had visited a place and I saw the kind of security in terms of the cameras they have put in place. They have put the PTZ cameras, very expensive cameras, and they, they have failed to put the right measures in terms of prevention. I do understand that the CCTV, they are very good in terms of deterrence. They will deter criminals from coming to a business place because they know they can be seen on camera. But apart from having the camera, there is other need that you need to put in place. There is other prevention measures that you need to put in place because you do not want to come and just play back a footage when your business facility has been vandalized. You need to ensure that you need to put a prevention measures in place that can be able to help your business to be able to grow. When I saw the measures that they have put in place, they have put a very expensive physical security in place that do not match their business level. And it is good to ensure that in your business level, you employ the right security measures in your level to ensure that you're able to balance your business as well as security in place. I know there is the issue of outsourcing of the security guards. Yes, it is good to outsource the security guards in your business because in accordance to the current regulation, it is good to ensure that the guards, you outsource the guard from the security companies that are there in place, so you do not employ your own security guard there. But on the bigger corporate organization, you're able to have a security manager in place to be able to help you in terms of risk assessment and many other things in place. It is good to have you can have an internal security officer as well as you can be able to ensure that you have outsourced security providers in place. That is man-guarding, and all these collectively help us to be able to ensure we secure and our businesses are safe. This one is very okay. Also, I would like to mention something. Ensure you do a very good background checks of the staff, and as you do a good background check on your staff, it is good to ensure yes, you can engage. There is a lot of private investigation services providers like Limitless Security, among many others. feel free to reach out to be able to be guided on that. Apart from that, ensure you put a culture that also upholds these principles that Beyond Business Trade Associations are advocating for. Because I can tell you, if the top management are corrupt, even if you get a very honest staff as a junior staff, sometimes they will learn the tricks of the senior management. And I have seen it. I have worked, actually, I happened to investigate a case in a corporate organization that I won't mention for the purpose of the confidentiality, because I am bound on confidentiality in terms of work. But upon the thorough investigations of the matter, I came to realize the staff was very open by the end and said, if the management are doing this, why not us as a junior staff? You know, they are stealing big. And for us, we are also learning from that culture. So my urge to the management of the organization, kindly let us put culture and values that those staffs will be proud of, that they will say that everybody who comes there, they will adopt that culture. That even if the ways were not very okay, that we do not bring a culture that grooms the crimes rates growth, but let us ensure we have a culture, and starting with the top management, put values, ensure there is that that culture you're putting in place, not only in terms of security measures, but holistically as a business. And this one will be able to help be able to seal a lot of loopholes and gaps. Even it will even make our work easier as a security personnel to be able to help you out in terms of your business growth and development. So, and once again, I would also like to, yes, appreciate Beyond Business Treasure, continual advocating for these principles being implemented, because I do believe personally, as a born again Christian, I do believe that if we're able to implement this, even this nation will not be able to have hunger, a lot of corruptions that we are seeing across several government agencies, private agencies. We are able to ensure that we have enough for every Kenyan in this nation, and we'll be able to ensure that we prevent crime, because a lot of people are getting in crime because of the economic hardships, among many other things. If we can be able to reduce the factors that causes people to engage in crime, then we are able to have a very safe society. We are able to have a very whereby somebody can go into slums, go to town, and be able to go into every other place, and they feel secure. They can be able to do business in different countries of this nation and far beyond, with this culture of safety, the culture that is able to uphold these values. And as I had said, looking at Kenya, we have got the highest. I think it should be about 70 or 80% are Christian. We have Muslims who are about 15%, and then we have another few group of other people who are maybe not on this side or on the other side. But I do believe if all these principles are able to be adopted by the Christians as well as even the Muslims, we can be able to have a very stable society that is free of crime, that helps the society to be better, and it will make our work easier. We will not be doing a lot of investigations of cases. We will not be having a great security measures in place, but we'll be able to ensure that our society is able to thrive and be able to balance in terms of security and business to the glory of and to the betterment of society. Thank you so much. Unless there is any question, and I know, believe, because we are live on Facebook, I know you'll be exiting, and maybe you can type your question on them that are live on Facebook, and be able to type your question there, and maybe later on I'll be able to be given an opportunity to respond to them. But for them that are live on Google Meet, then I'll be able to be having few minutes to be able to take some few questions. But for them that are that have been watching us live on Facebook, thank you so much. Even as you type your questions there, we'll be able to answer them later on. Asanteni sana. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll be logging out from Facebook, but not on Google Meet. So thank you so much, and have a great time, and continue supporting the good work that the Beyond Business Treasure Association is doing. You can partner with them in whichever way, and I know it's going to be good as we advocate for these principles in place. Thank you for our Facebook viewers and our YouTube viewers. Thank you so much. God bless you.